Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Those Two Geeks. You may have noticed that we are trying something new. We are
What
on
do I do with
camera.
my hands? I don't know
I
what to
don't
do with
know,
them.
like it's the weirdest thing is you and I have spoken on camera before and we often have our hands playing with a toy, whatever. And now that we're actually on camera, in
Yeah,
theory, we don't honestly know how this is going to go. So if we're
right.
talking about being on camera and we're not, it's
Yeah.
because I don't know what I'm doing. And yet here we are.
Mm.
Do you? We were talking about this a bit off, literally off camera. Now we can say
I love the cat in the background.
that. Yeah, I
It's
know
just
we was up
perfect.
there. I know we
Absolutely
was up
perfect for
there.
we
So
were
as
talking
you
off
can say,
camera.
I don't give a shit. Like my figures are behind me. I don't care if they knock
I
them
know.
down because they're
I know.
plastic. And honestly, it's their house too. So whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking off camera how we've been doing this. You found out on in your inbox. We've been doing this for 10 years
10 years, yeah.
together
Our first
in some
communication
form or another.
was 2015, and I want to say it was around May of 2015. Don't 100%
Yeah.
quote me on that, but
No, I
May.
think you're right because we started doing a
We did an email
like a
chain back and
column,
forth.
right? Yeah, it's a column
Yeah,
back
it
and
was
forth.
column back and forth where we would coach a question and then do the answer and then I don't know
Yeah,
why I'm doing this, but whatever. That's the
we're
pantomime for
typing.
people to
Yeah,
understand typing.
yeah,
Um,
because no one knows what typing.
and it's so funny how it just progressed, and it started as we were just commenting on the Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo New 52 Batman run because we bonded over it and
Yeah.
how great it was. And so we were like, you know what? This is so good. It's not on Graphic Policy, which is where we are homed or hosted.
Hmm.
And we're like, we should talk about this. No one else is.
Hmm.
So other than the regular obligatory weekly, pick
Yeah,
up Batman 68 and blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
like that kind of stuff. We went into this deep depth, in-depth dive. And then what we found out is we're both ramblers. So we would send this like one thing back and forth to each other, and then all of a sudden it would turn into like 3 or 4 pages more than we thought it
Of,
would.
of, and some of it was relevant.
It was very relevant, but the thing is, like, if you go back and read it, it's exhausting. And it
I
just,
bet
I
it was.
think,
I
I
wanted to
don't,
go back.
I don't know who made the decision for us to jump to YouTube or whatever and just start
I
recording.
I
Or
think
StreamYard, not StreamYard,
it was
Spotify.
Skype. I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
Skype. Yeah, it was Skype. Sorry.
I
Jeez,
think
so many.
it may have been me because I was tired of compiling it, and I thought, well,
Yeah.
how hard can it be? We'll just record it. So we did it, and it was shit for a bit.
Yep. It was shit for a while. And then so
Yeah,
what we did was you
we
know,
rebranded,
we
didn't
couldn't
we?
figure out a name. So it was first called Gotham Weekly, but then we quickly realized we couldn't stick to a schedule. So it became Gotham Monthly.
And then Gotham
And
whenever the fuck we did it.
and yeah, Gotham whenever the fuck we did it. And then like basically I remember there was one episode where I think we opened the intro and I was like, sometimes on Gotham Monthly. Like
Yeah,
this week
I
on Gotham Monthly. It was just
I
so
think at
freaking
that point
stupid.
we had almost a month or two where we just didn't get a chance to chat, and then we
Hmm.
realized that why don't we just completely rebrand?
Right.
So we ended up with
Those two geeks.
Those Two Geeks, yeah, and then 300 episodes of that later,
And
which
the reason it came off as those two geeks, because I think I was the one who came up with the name.
I think so.
It basically it was based off of there was this old Steve, a friend of mine would know that there's this old radio show. It was called Two Chicks Dishing on WEEI where we're located, and I just couldn't think of a name, and I was like, oh my, those two geeks, and it
Mm,
was like, oh yeah, it just kind of sang.
it
And
it
then we were
worked.
like, those two geeks with Alex and Joe,
Yep.
because you alphabetically being before my name, it just works better and it sounds better. And it just works so well that I can't picture it being called anything else by any other name.
No, and I mean we've honestly in 300 episodes we've had
300,
two
man. Oof.
two logos maybe.
Yeah.
The one that we have now that you can see,
Yeah.
and the one that we had before, which was similar but not as good
Yeah.
because I made it in Word. because
I think the biggest contribution was when music came into the show. Because it was like discovering fire. It was like, oh my
we had
God.
music on Gotham Weekly, but I
We
would
did, but
play
it wasn't like this.
No, but so I would play it on my phone, holding it up to the microphone, and then we would go. I think the biggest contribution was when Alex was told, "Hey, do you know how to edit?" Like, no, we just record it and hope for the best.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
So it was sometime like I think once we went to ThoseTwoGeeks, we started using Audacity
Yeah.
to edit and all of that. So it's one of those things where time and things have we've hopefully become better over time, but we've also gone from just Batman to talking about almost anything that comes to mind.
As we saw.
God damn it, Stevie!
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet.
Ah,
you're a healthy scratch on a no-win, no-show team. Hang him up already.
Oh shit! The amazing thing
even
about
our
that
intros
is,
aren't planned.
No, well, that one was, but it didn't work. So I don't think Stevie got the
cue.
The cue. Well, I don't know how it works when you just get randomly brought in. So
I don't know.
As
it
we
wouldn't
were saying,
have worked any better than if it worked better, if that makes any sense.
It
but
does.
Yeah,
it does.
As we saw a week or two ago, we finally talked about, I think, everything pretty much when we were talking about our handyman or not being handyman experiences. Yeah. Both of us bonded over not being able to change a tire, which you are my brother. I
can't do it.
Nope.
I call AAA.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they exist for.
Yeah.
And I was telling Steve off camera, my cousin, I was telling you, Steve, that it was one of my favorite episodes, us talking about our shitty botches and not being able, like, we realized we were like an hour and 20 something minutes into it when we were talking about being stuck in the snow and going very deep into the tire. And you were like, the guy was great. He didn't want to accept any type of restitution and this and that. And it just, we realized we're like, oh my God, we didn't talk about anything comic book related except for like one sentence. And somehow like we brought it back in at the end and it was just like the bookends.
And I think to Steve's well-timed interruption, this episode is going to be another episode where we talk, in theory, not much about comics and things, because I have been telling you to watch the show for the better part of a year. If you know the show, you would have picked up on which show it was. It's Shoresy. So I've been telling you to watch it for over a year, and Steve started watching. When did you start watching, mate? It was
like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you've watched it.
Come on, Alex, set the fucking tone, huh?
Yeah. We burned through this thing.
Did you watch it together, or were you just watching it?
No, we were watching it. So it was like one of those things where he was like, "You're gonna watch Shoresy, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'll get to it." And of typical Joe dragging his feet.
Goes on with the rest of his life.
Goes on with the rest of my life. And then one night I just decided to throw one episode on. But it became like Pringles.
But it was after I sent you the clip the season 3 trailer or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the sizzle reel of him like ripping at the kids at the rink.
Corey and Liam.
Yeah, Corey and Liam, who was just amazing. And all of a sudden, it was like I couldn't stop it. I started at like 10 o'clock at night, and then I'm gonna, in typical fashion, walk away for a few moments to take care of things. But yeah, I couldn't stop watching it. And
we don't date hockey players. We crushed them.
That is
I went through the entire first season before Steve woke up, and he was like, "I'm on episode 2." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Crank those numbers out. Let's go."
I'm on season 2.
I'm on season 2. I was through season 2 within 3 days. I just boomed through it.
Now at this point, Steve, you've seen all 3 seasons that have been out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, folks, if you haven't seen Shoresy and you think you're going to, we're going to spoil it. Almost all the way through.
Out of it.
That being said, this is still a show that it works even if you know what's going to happen.
I want to do mouth stuff to Ted Hitchcock, because when you say his name fast, it sounds like Ted Hitchcock.
I just there's so many things we're going to talk about. Like we could get really meta about it and be like, oh, it's a wonderfully.
What's funny is that Joe's not looking at the screen right now, so
I know, and if he is, we don't know he's not. If he's looking at the screen,
I'm not. No. Oh, I will be in 2 seconds. So
yeah. So I'll be honest, Steve. A couple of my friends have been watching Shoresy since it debuted, and they have been telling me to watch it for since it began, basically. And you know what it's like when someone tugs you to do something, and you're like, yeah, maybe, and then the more
Joe knows all about that.
Yeah, so the more they tell you to do it, the more you're like, I don't know if I want to do it now that you're like shoving me in a room to do it.
Yeah.
Like yeah, but you'd like it. Like I might like it, but now I'm being stubborn.
Oh,
like God, that now my feet are dug in.
Hey Joe, how's Cobra Kai going?
Oh, I'm on the final episode of the 5th season. I'm still.
I didn't know there was. I didn't even know there was another season.
The 6th season.
Yeah. When did the 5th season come out?
A while ago.
Like earlier 2024.
Yeah. This is This is Steven's eternal struggle with me, because it always ends the same way. It's the same movie every single time.
And then he'll finally watch it and go, "Why did you never tell me about this?"
Do it every.
Why didn't I,
time.
Joe?
I know. I'll go. Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And it happens every single time. And I'm always like, "Yeah, I'll get to it." And Alex knows very well it's happened. So you guys are very much on the same footing with me. That means we're always close. And Voracious took me a year.
Yeah, it did. The irony being is that I've been on both sides of this. So I know what it's like when you're. It's not that you don't want to watch it. It's that you don't want people to keep harping on at you. So now
you're just trying to be cool and not watch it because you want to be like everybody else.
Yeah. So in that vein, a couple of my friends had been saying, "Oh, you got to watch it. You got to watch." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get to it." They don't know I've watched it. They still have no idea that I've seen it. And
I think it's the greatest.
Like I've told Joe, like Joe knows I watched it about a year ago and say, "Hey, you'd like this," and then that's it. I've been dropping Shoresy lines and references in conversation for the last year. And
how they don't know. Tell them some of the ones you've dropped. This is just asinine to me.
So we were talking about something, and again, like it's when you know what I'm doing, it's like, how do you not get this? But if you don't know what I'm doing, it's very difficult because they were talking about, I don't even know what they were talking about, but it was about like goaltenders. We were talking about hockey.
Yeah, there we go.
I was like, yeah, man, goalies are weird. And and it went over their heads
so many times.
And but again, like they know the quote.
Yeah.
It's just that they wouldn't expect me to know the quote. So as far as they're concerned, it's just a
coincidence.
We're going on a walk, boys.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. The only reason I can't give your friends, my apologies to Alex's friends if you ever do listen to this show, but my thing is I cannot give you an ignorant pass on this because the way the Shoresy show is laid out, the way it's laid out is dialogue is intentionally repeated multiple times throughout an episode, such as goalies are weird. It will be said from one character's perspective, then another character's, and another and another. So therefore, it's also not something that people say who watch hockey ever.
Do you know how many times I've used the word "set the tone"?
Oh my God, that one should just.
I'm sorry, but hockey people do say goalies are weird. They're the weirdest people on the ice.
Yeah, and again, like I don't play hockey, so I have never gone through that.
But you're Canadian, you should know this.
You would think, right? But one of my favorite.
Joe, your father coached hockey. You should be an all-star by now.
It's true. I should know. My dad coached hockey.
One of my favorite moments that this is when I was ready to come clean and let them know. My buddy coaches a roller derby team.
Roller derby.
This is great.
Roller derby. And
there's just one time that Meg did roller derby and she fucked everyone up.
So his team were play in a championship in another province, and it was so hot in the arena, and he's like, they did have an ice rink, so I just go sit in there. I was like, did you sit on the ice? He's like, no, I don't think they'd let me. I was like, well, at least it's not like you were sitting there without your pants on the ice.
I mean, come on.
Oh my God, I'm so hot.
Like, it was one of those moments.
It's in my hair. It's in my hair.
How does that of all other things? But again, if you don't know what I'm doing, and if they listen to this and they're gonna know, and maybe they'll go back through the text chats we've had and see all the different lines here and there.
Oh my God!
The amount of times, even with Letterkenny quotes, that I've spat at, figure it out.
Oh, they don't think you've even watched Letterkenny?
They don't even know I've watched Letterkenny.
Holy shit!
They've been telling me to watch these things for years, and you know what it's like, Steve or Joe. You both would know what it's like. Someone's like, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this.
No, here's to Steve's credit. No. If I say you got to do this, he'll do it.
Fill him up, run him out, boys. Fill him up, run him out.
He's good with it. Like if I'm like, dude, you've got to watch this or you've got to check this out. He'll check it out, and then he'll be like,
if you don't score a goal, you're out.
Yeah, he'll be like, he'll be like, did you check out that thing I sent you on Insta? And I'm like, what thing? He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. But here's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I found Nat's Instagram page. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm the king of this, Alex. I'm the absolute king of this move. He'll be like, hey, did you share that thing I sent you on Insta? And I'll ignore it or I'll go on with my life. I don't mean to ignore it. It's just I get caught up. And then what will happen serendipitously?
He gets caught up watching toy reviews and nothing else matters.
Yes. What will happen is serendipitously something will happen. And whatever he showed me will pop up on my algorithm anyway. And I'll find it like I discovered it. And I'll be like,
and then you share it.
And then I share it to him and he's like, God damn it, Joe, go read your shit. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like,
yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Read your shit. And I'm like, no. I do it all the time to him. I feel so bad.
It's one of those things where
all right, I'm bad.
I've done it too. Like my wife who said, hey, you need to.
Hi, Joe. Welcome back to the show.
I saw Saggy Naggy. I said, Saggy Naggy.
So like, yeah, my wife has told me, oh, you need to do this thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And then like a month later, hey, have you seen this? She's like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly. You don't mean to. See, we're a lot alike. We're very much alike. We can't change tires. We're very absent-minded.
Yep.
It's very fun.
By the way, today's Two Geeks podcast comes to you from Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Yeah, it does. It's but so you said the pants line.
Yeah.
And he didn't get it.
No.
Like to me, that's just like that. These are oddly specific. These aren't just like throwaway lines that you're being cheeky with and trying to sneak them in. You're not trying to just, get a 5-hole.
I was doing that as well. Like I was doing the odd line here and there. But again, like because they were very similar in our interests. So like we all like hockey, different teams, but whatever. Like we all video games, that kind of thing. So
wait, don't tell me Canadians.
Of course.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but Alex doesn't like the Canadians.
No, I don't. Sorry, when you say Canadians, I assumed you meant, are we Canadians? Yes, no. One guy is a Bruins fan. The other guy is a Leafs fan, and I'm a Vegas fan. So there's no Canadians fans.
I'm a Bruins and Ducks fan.
Yeah, he's been Bruins and Ducks since we were kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I marvel at this, and I guess you guys are going to see my chair for a few minutes. This dog is being a pain. I'm sorry for 300. But no, like, I don't know how. Alex, I'm starting to wonder. This feels like this should be one of those call-in shows that we reach out to one of your friends, because I feel like they're trolling you at this point. Honestly, they know what you're doing.
They have to be trolling me.
They have to be. They absolutely must be like, we're going to wait till he comes clean.
Yeah, see, I'm waiting for season 4 to start.
Yeah, I think this will ramp it up exponentially.
And then what I'm going to do for season 4 is the next time I see them, the first line from the first episode is going to be the first thing I say when I see them.
There you go.
And if that doesn't do it, they're trolling me. There's no way that they're not at that point.
So we've gotten to the point of like what we were talking about as far as like why you've watched the show and what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really explained to anybody who happens to turn this on in our ADD brains, just forgot to explain what the show was. So the show is called Shoresy. It's based out of oh my god,
Sudbury, Ontario.
Sudbury, Ontario. Yep. And it's about, I would guess it's akin to a AAA hockey league. That there's
I would go further than I would go less than that. I would go probably
I think
juniors
I thought
almost.
It was AAA.
No, I think it's AAA.
Okay.
It's senior Welsh hockey. I think they say it's AAA at some point.
I think senior Welsh hockey is AAA. Yeah. So it's basically the main character is this guy named Shoresy, and he's a veteran on the team, and he's played, past, I guess, what would be considered his age limit. Although Ted Hitchcock is surprisingly up there too. So
Letterkenny.
Yeah.
From Letterkenny.
I think he's in his mid to late 30s. Like the lead is what my assumption is, that he's in his mid to late 30s.
Yeah, I didn't think Shoresy's hit 40 yet, even though I'm sure Jerry Kiso's probably 40.
Honestly,
hey Siri, how old is Jerry Kiso?
Let's see.
Yep, he's 40.
Yeah, so he's
good. But yeah, in hockey terms, that's old. Mm-hmm. Especially to play for a AAA team.
Yeah, unless you're Jaromir Jagr, you're not playing past 40.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's basically a team that is just in the dumps. They used to be prestigious. They're losing constantly. They're just god-awful. They got, the attendance of AEW, and it's really,
they have
really
less
bad.
than that.
Yeah, they have less than AEW.
Yeah.
by like a dozen. But no, so anyways,
Ovechkin's 39 years old and he's still playing at an elite level. So
there's a few players who are really good and still playing past the average age. I think Crosby is 38, 39. I think he's around the same age as Ovechkin, but generally you're not going to see people playing.
But Shoresy's part of a team that's going to fold because it's no longer profitable. And his friend, although you would think that they're adversaries, but they're very deep friends.
I thought they were lovers.
At some point, I really thought they were going to hook up. I really, I still don't put it past. But anyway,
honestly, I actually really like the fact that they haven't.
Yeah,
yes.
They're like a weird cross between sexual tension and sisters, brother and sister.
Yeah, brother and sister. Agreed.
Yeah.
So his friend Nat has been bequeathed and left been left the team by her late mother, and so basically she sees no reason to keep it open. It's not it's not making gates, it's not making doors, and Shoresy, it's all he's got. It's his love. He's a very simple, kind-hearted guy. Well, I mean, not kind-hearted, but he's a very simple, genuine guy whose love is hockey and only hockey, and it's his only purpose. So he becomes, on this quest that we'll never lose again. We'll never, ever lose again. That's his mantra. And they're like, how the hell are you going to do that? We haven't won in forever. But they start slowly snowballing through different methods of winning. And then the team starts to catch fire, basically. And it goes from there. But you would think that's the show. But the show is really, the brilliance in the show is the intermingling between all the characters and how well they all play their positions on and off the ice. They're just so good at doing, adding and contributing to each part of the dynamic.
Alex, I don't know. And the best way I can describe the TV show, and I don't know if you've ever watched it,
Goon,
Alex.
Yeah.
No. So it's like Goon, but with more of a story and no Sean William Scott. But the best way I can describe this show is, anybody's ever watched the TV show version of Friday Night Lights? It's Friday Night Lights, but Canadian hockey.
Yeah. I've seen two episodes, and Steve was trying to get me to watch Friday
Well,
Night Lights
even the way the show,
years.
and the reason why I say that is even the way the show was shot between Friday Night Lights and Shoresy is how they immersed the town into the show.
Yeah.
You know, and that's and when you watch Friday Night Lights, it's really Pflugerville, Texas. That's not what they call it in the show, but the town they tape in is Pflugerville, Texas, and they literally everything is shot, even in the camera angles. Like they make it so you don't even know the cameras are there. It's for the actors. They're like they just go on like it's an actual like they're talking to each other. It's fucking amazing.
That's cool.
The cinematography of this show is just one part of it. This could be a show that would have been on like what the fuck is that show? Comedy Central. I could picture it have been on Comedy Central. Low budget as low budget could be. It would have been crass and funny and blah blah blah. But what makes this show so unique is it's a low budget crass shit fest with high production value and heart.
And I don't think this show could have been successful if it debuted originally in the States. I think what the charm is that it came out in Canada first, built a following.
Yeah.
And then Hulu was like, shit.
This is good.
Yeah.
And this flew under my radar so bad, even though Alex told me. I figured I would have heard about it. It flew under my radar. Like I didn't see any, puff pieces on it or any type of editorials. Like none of that has come by.
And can I just say that there is an impossible amount of good-looking chicks in Sudbury,
oh my God.
Sudbury,
is that
Canada?
a true fact? Because if it is, I'm going Canadian. I really think so.
What I think.
Canadian women in general are beautiful. I mean, very rarely do you find a non-beautiful Canadian woman.
I'm not going to argue with that. I was going to liken Shoresy to Ted Lasso. If you haven't seen Ted Lasso,
I've never watched Ted Lasso.
Everyone's been telling me to watch that one too.
It's only 3 seasons, and I think it's 3 and done. Like I don't think they're doing any more. You don't need.
Now I'm going to be honest. I'm having a hard time getting through Letterkenny right now, and I know it's going to pick up, but it's getting through the first introductory episodes.
Letterkenny is. I enjoy Letterkenny. Letterkenny's not as good as Shoresy.
It's more dry, right?
Not yet, at least.
I don't even know if it's dry. It's very snappy dialogue. So you think Shoresy has snappy dialogue? Letterkenny is just like Shoresy is of the two. Shoresy seems to me to be more heart, soul, and the dialogue is just phenomenal on top of it. Letterkenny is more really.
I feel like Letterkenny doesn't have as much actual like storyline dialogue from week to week.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. That's exactly it. Like Shoresy is a great story with snappy dialogue. Letterkenny is incredible dialogue, or rather, great dialogue with the occasional episodic story.
Exactly. And that's what's great about Shoresy is that like you actually start to get like not feelings, but you get emotionally invested with the characters. Yeah.
And it can be something as simple as like Jory, the kid that does the interviews.
Oh
like,
God,
he's only exactly. He's only
she said this kid had cancer or something.
Yeah, like but every time he's in, I'm like, yes, Jory's here, because I love when he's so brilliant. Like he chews the scenery, and yet when
he really does, and he's so droll. Like he's
so droll.
He's like.
There are moments where, like the interview with Shoresy.
Do you think you let the whole town over? Is it because you're over the hill? Do you think you should hang them up? Why haven't you hung them up already? Is it your problem in the bedroom? We'll get to that. We have heard you had like he just rapid fire, and I love when
you can just.
Is it because you can't push one out?
Yeah. I love the fact that I don't know if the actors know what the questions are going to be, or if that's like a genuine reaction, or if they're reacting in character. Like I love the fact I can't really be.
Sure. I should get my passport. Joey, do you have your passport?
I'm getting my passport very soon.
We should get our passports, and the three of us should just do like a show live from fucking Sudbury, Ontario,
right outside the Wolves.
Yeah, right outside the arena.
Set up a lemonade stand.
I don't know if you knew this.
Charlie Brown
didn't get into Shoresy like 6 months ago because they do a Shoresy Classic, and they had one in Boston.
Yeah, they did in November. I'm hoping they'll do it again.
I think they will. My friend went to the one in Toronto, and he couldn't work out why hotel prices were so high. Same weekend, fucking Taylor Swift was there, so nowhere to find a place. But he said it was a great time. Like he sent me some really cool videos. Now the ironic
how's the lobsters over there in PEI?
Yeah,
Alex wouldn't know because he doesn't like them.
I don't eat seafood. But
all right, get the crab. I want a crab anyways. Fine.
Yeah. So the thing is with that, my wife doesn't drink tea. I don't eat lobster.
What? Oh, that's right. She drinks coffee. Yeah.
No, she does. She drinks iced like
Iced coffee, like me.
iced cappuccino. Yeah. So it's not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
like a nice coffee. It's like a frothy, kind of like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
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 So, like, how do you like?
Those two geeks
Doesn't
run
it
on, don't
bother-
you?
Yeah, like doesn't it bother you that she doesn't drink tea? I'm like, no, because it means don't have to buy as many tea bags.
Yeah.
Right.
And
you
like,
are on a
but
lot of
when
tea bags.
yeah, I do, I went through, I guess, about 80 every 2 months.
God
Sorry.
damn.
No, 160 every 2 months.
Holy shit.
So that being said, I don't eat seafood, and again, people
Right.
her friends like, how is that, like, how do you deal with that? Like, he doesn't eat seafood, and she's like, it's
Peter
more for
Griffin,
me.
eh?
Yeah, she's like, it's more for me. I just registered that you have Peter Griffin.
Well, so fun fact, Alex, because
Mm-hmm.
Peter Griffin's technically Irish, but unfortunately, I'm full-blooded French Canadian. My entire lineage
not
comes
know
from
that.
Quebec.
Did not know that.
Yeah,
So you must have like maple syrup.
and I've
in your
never
pasta.
been to Canada. I don't even own.
Honestly,
I don't even own a passport.
We will.
I-
That's rectified
yeah,
this year.
I have two.
Good for you. Bully on you.
Yep. I've got to renew one of them though.
But
It's kind of funny how some people can come back and forth between Canada and the States, and back again. But
yeah.
yeah.
With
Yeah.
ease, with relative
with ease,
ease.
with
It's
ease,
almost like
yeah.
Funnily
they end
enough,
up
it's
in,
easier to go back
weird
come
place like
across with
Cuba. I
my
don't know.
Canadian passport than my British one, because the
Hmm.
British one, there's no, I guess, agreement.
Oh, that's
Like-
right. Because Canada, you got both.
Yeah.
Because
So
you guys are still technically under British rule.
No, I'm dual citizen, so I have both.
Oh, okay.
But
it's like here in America, like how Puerto Ricans can go back and forth. They don't need a passport because they just
it's same.
it's a territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't look, if I'm using my British one, I've got to pay like it for a ETSA, like a travel document. It's like $8
Yeah.
a time. It's not it's nothing really. It's just annoying to have to go into the customs office, pay it, and go. It's like
By the way,
10
do you know why
10
Puerto Rico
seconds.
isn't an actual United States state?
I actually don't know this.
Because they don't want to pay taxes.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That would do it.
Well, they
So,
want privileges. They want privileges, but they don't want to pay the taxes.
This is a rare time where the tangent went into another tangent, and I forgot where we tangented.
I'm waiting for Brett to lose his head.
Like, where did we tangent? Like, it was something about the Sudbury Bulldogs, the Wolves, filming outside.
Oh, we were
Speaking of Sudbury Bulldogs, by the way, the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs. Eh?
Blueberry
We're
So,
the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs.
Alex,
Oh
do you
my
play NHL
God,
hockey,
it's
like on
embarrassing.
video game hockey?
I occasionally. Like
So
I have
NHL, so
24, I
NHL
don't play it.
25, you can switch the leagues. You can play in the AHL, the OHL, the QHL, QMHL, all the different leagues. You could play in under the OHL. You could play as the Sudbury Wolves versus the Sioux Greyhounds. It's fucking amazing.
Amazing. I love
Yeah.
that. That is
Yeah,
fantastic.
because the No Show I found out was created for the show. It's
Yeah,
not
the
now-
No Show is a fictional league.
It's
Yeah,
the
they're not run by
OHL.
3 lesbians. It's
Okay, let's get into that too. So much about this show to unpack. Like, from just the heartfelt dialogue, from the story, continuation and development, from the way it's shot. But then there's these things that have never been done before.
Mhm.
Because as much as I've seen hockey movies and all those things, and I've watched a lot of hockey, I have never seen 3 ladies run a panel of judgment, like a player's panel. And they're 3 ladies of the same orientation, and it is fucking hysterical. But what I love is
It's
this
brilliant.
term that creative team that Jerry
Sluts?
Tisso's come up with, sluts for the
the
players.
players. Yeah.
I think it works so well. It's almost at the point when you first hear it, it's so jarring. I'm like, did she just call them sluts? And then I was like, oh, she just did it again. And she did it again. And again. And again. And it's all in the same scene.
But I love the
But,
scene
like-
with Shoresy standing in front of them for the discipline, and he was like, "Yeah, I nail all of you. Yeah, you know what? If I met your husbands, I shake their hands." Like,
He goes, yeah, I'd like to take them out for a beer and shake their hands and congratulate them.
It's one
No,
of my
okay.
favorite things about Shoresy is that he's so crass. He's so like blunt,
He's
And
crass,
yet at
but
the
I don't
same
think
time,
he realizes that. I
no,
mean, he
and
realizes he's crass, but I think he's genuine. Like all
yeah,
his interactions with the reporter Laura
he
Moore.
he's
Oh
genuine. Like he's a genuinely nice guy, and I think he's genuinely the kind of guy that you want to root for. He's
yeah,
just an asshole half the time
All
too.
right, well, you heard it, boys. That's
with
right. Go get your
Laura
spray
Moore,
cans. Take off your tarps. Let's go.
Yeah,
Moore is so freaking funny when he's like, man, I treat you so good. She's like, how good?
you
Like,
can
I'd
hear
be
that too,
there
right?
way up in the morning.
Joe,
just
your
like,
audio's fucked right now. Your
Yeah.
audio's
oh, well, hear me?
no,
You
it's still
sound,
fucked.
yeah,
Oh,
not great.
so I'm gonna get Scarlet. Ah, damn it. Would figure it would do this. All right, hold on.
It's
Who knew that we had a special guest on today? The Claw.
right. This is one of those moments when I'm like, normally I cut this out when his audio goes all shitty, but I'm not gonna today.
Yeah.
We're going old school with a
I'll get you,
recording at the beginning
Inspector
and recording
Gadget.
at the end.
Really, Scarlet.
And by the way, who had Inspector Gadget reference on the bingo card? Not me.
Mm-mm. No, I didn't. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me that an Inspector Gadget reference happened on the show. I just didn't expect that it would.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but you sound like shit.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. It's like bunny ears trying to figure out like where to stand.
I don't think. How about tap your microphone and untap it? Like mute it and then unmute it.
I did.
Try it again. Unmute.
So garbled. What if I leave and come right back in?
Yeah, try that.
All right.
So hey, folks, welcome to Those Two Geeks with Alex and Steven. And we've kicked Joe Hessian out, so it's about to get a little
It's
swirly.
gonna be a new show. The ironic thing is he can't come back in unless I let him in. This is one of those moments from like.
No, I just if I wasn't on a Wicked 180 right now, I'd say while we were doing this show, we should be eating sticks.
They do. Chapman's make the best sticks. I even tried to say like something about ice cream cones to my friends, but it didn't. Like sticks is a very specific reference, and that was early on, and really you can't do it in the winter as well. But I was telling them about how I'd gone to a gas station to grab like a couple ice cream cones, and yeah, you better now.
Good Lord, that was like
we are.
Yeah. So I was telling Stevie how we were talking about sticks.
Joe, it's your earpiece. Your earpiece sucks. Shut off your earpiece.
Yeah, I just shut it off. Fuck them.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So I was telling Stevie about how my friends and I were talking about ice cream cones, and I was trying to work into a story about how I had gone to the gas station to get some things, and I was like, yeah, they didn't have the one I normally went for, so I ended up getting like a Chapman stick. Oh yeah.
Words we don't understand.
Yeah, Joe,
Yeah.
I was just saying to Alex while you were away, I was like, if I wasn't on a Wicked 180 right now, it'd be kind of hilarious if we were eating sticks while doing this.
Oh my God. I went out and bought a whole thing of sticks after the first season of Shoresy, and unfortunately I ate them in 2 days. So I gave myself no sticks.
I'm the same way. If I have that kind of stuff, there's so many things I get that I try
but I got
to.
the little.
But the amount of Shoresy references that Joe and I are doing, Joe earlier this week had a little bit of a mental moment. I was like, Joe, we bros, right? And I can tell you anything, even if you don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. You suck.
Yeah, you suck. Yeah, you're not with it. Like, handsome man. We're brothers. Yeah. And I can tell you anything you want. Yeah, you can tell me anything. Even if you don't like it. Yeah, even if you don't like it. What's up? But I love when I was trying to say I love when he's talking to Laura Moore. That is probably some of my favorite interactions of the show. Is when he's like, man, I treat you so good. And she goes, how good? And he goes, like you'd be waking up in the morning and I'd just be there treating you so good. It's like
I tongue kiss the toaster just to load your dishwasher.
Yeah, the simplest explanation you could possibly find is the one he goes with.
I would crawl across the floor just to take out your trash.
Oh my God, it's epic. Like
it's so honest as well, and I love the fact that he's, some of the play, like the stereotype with a lot of hockey players is that they like, younger girls, like late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you're too old for me.
Yeah, he's like, no, she's a bit young, isn't she? Like
I love when they even his age, and he's like, "Yeah, she's a bit young. If you were like 15 years older, I guess I would."
yeah. Oh, I love
Listen,
it.
all I know is I got to talk to the owners of Rhode Island Comic Con and be like, you need to get the cast of Shoresy here stat.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
And if you don't get Nat, you're fired.
Yeah, Nat.
Dude,
Man.
did you see what I sent you, by the way? On Tuesday, was it?
His answer is
That
going to be no.
I found her. She has Cameo. She's on Cameo.
No, I didn't see that. I saw her IG though that you sent me, and
Yeah,
I
she's
was
on
like,
Cameo. I was like, ooh, that might be $140 plus bad.
but they had her, Zeke, what's the other one's name? I always forget it. It's
Yeah.
Zequa, and what's the other
Yeah.
name? Alex.
Yeah.
I want to say it starts with an M.
Zequa?
I was waiting for
Miqua. I think it's Mika.
Yeah.
All right, so Zeke.
Can you guys? Oh, sorry. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, you looking it up too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zeke, Meek, and Matt. I mean, Zeke, Meek, and Nat. And anyways, Nat's latest post was she did a post. It must be from like they're back on set, because it's like this is debut week, back on set type of deal, and it's all three of them in hockey jerseys against the wall, and it's just like
Let's see. Ziguan and
Zeke,
Miguan. Ziguan and
Miguan.
Miguan.
yeah,
It's funny. I was thinking it's like very similar to Ziguan, but it can't be just Miguan. That wouldn't make sense.
yeah, it is. It is.
By the way, Terry Ryan, who plays Hitchcock,
Yeah,
he's a former Montreal Canadian.
I figured he was something.
So I don't know if you knew this one.
And then one of the
Shoresy's
Jims
missing
also
tooth.
played in the show.
Yeah, Shoresy's
Who?
missing tooth.
One of the
he had
Jims.
it-
He got it removed for the show.
Yeah, it was actually I think it must have been like a false tooth, and he took it out so you could put one of the ones that you could just clip in, clip out
Okay.
into it. But he had it
Removed for the
reversed
show.
specifically for the show.
Right, that's right, because he was also a minor league hockey player.
Yeah.
Jared Kiso.
Yeah,
That's what makes this thing so brilliant. It comes at such a part of authenticity.
and so
Yeah,
like,
but
when
one of
there's-
the Jims I think once played for they used to play for the San Jose Sharks.
The
that would
Jims,
make sense. Yeah,
They're
they're
such beauties. Such beauties.
such beauties.
The
And
Jims.
then and what's the other one? What's his name? Bodio.
Goody.
Dolo.
Thank you,
a
Dolo.
rapper.
Yeah, but he actually played hockey and quit hockey. He was like about to go to the show, and then he quit to become a performer.
I like how
He
you're
did
using the
the-
term "the show" that we would have never used until this.
Well, I mean that's what they. So in baseball, they call
The show.
they call MLB the show. That's why it's called MLB the show, the video game. But that's why it's called the show. When you're in the minors, they're like, I can't wait to get to the show one day. So it's like
I never knew that. That's
Yeah.
cool. I just thought it was kind of like a takeoff of like a movie that I love. It's with Keanu Reeves, and he coaches a little league team called Hardball.
yeah.
And they, instead of them saying championship, they're like, "We're going to the ship. We're going
to the ship.
Yeah, so like I thought it was a takeoff of that.
And then G Baby got shot.
Yeah. Well, that's so sad. But so yeah, you were talking about being emotionally invested, dude. I
Yeah.
texted Steve. I choked up like a motherfucker when Shoresy got flattened. And when they had the scene where like all three of them are running in slow motion, all the girls
Mhm.
going around the corner, like they know how to pull you in
Yeah.
emotionally in this show. Wow, that was a bad gesture. They know how to pull you in emotionally on this show. They just suck.
Put you in emotionally.
They're so good at it. They're very good at emotional manipulation, but in a good way for entertainment. Like the music is perfect, the shooting is perfect. Like I also like the way that when they end episodes, they end it kind of like how Alex and I end episodes. It's
just
on this
ends.
weird, just strange point. You don't have to end it on this like poignant point. It's
Yep.
just kind of like bing, gone.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh shit.
When
It-
Shoresy,
He's
has
great.
been
He's great
saying
on
for-
camera. He's great on camera.
Yeah.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you've been saying for the entire episode, like you go to, you can't go no more. You go to, you can't go
Yeah.
no more. And all of a sudden, he had talked the guy through. He lost the teeth. He's like, smile at the camera. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Never let us see you hurt.
Yeah. And then he hobbles off, and then all of a sudden he's like, I can't go. And
Yeah.
that moment where you're like, oh shit, it works
Yeah.
so well because you had like, as the audience, you had that emotional.
He's your
Yeah.
POV. You are.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it.
Entry
I
point
loved it
in
when
that show.
when he was like, when she was like, yeah, you're done for at least the next game. And he goes, no. He's like, you say yourself you can't go. Yeah, I couldn't go that game.
Now I can go.
Yeah, but no, I like when he's talking to her and he goes, she's like, no, you're done. You're gonna have to consider that you're done for good. And he's like, oh yeah, you want to lose? And she's like, did it ever occur to you that I care more about you than winning? And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like that's a bite your lip moment. You're like,
But you know what
you know,
also
like when
was
he
you know
grabbed
what also was
Sanguinet
brilliant
and
though
he
is
like,
that in that episode where he got his clock cleaned, I really loved the back and forth between him and Sanguinet on the bench when he just kept going, you can't run around out there, can't run around on our ice like that. No. He's like, we don't have a lead. Well, we'll get us your fucking lead. And then he got the goal. He's like, we got the lead. And then he scored again. Now this worst goal. It's the worst lead in hockey. I don't fucking run him out there. No one runs around in our building like that. And then he got pissed off, jumped out, and then got his clock clean. I'm like, damn.
so I
I
like,
mean, he was right. Like
right.
he could call the game. He knew what was going to happen.
Hmm.
So it's one of those moments where, is Sanguinet wrong for not listening to him, or is
Yeah,
Shoresy wrong for not respecting the
disobeying.
coach's decision?
Yeah.
A little A,
I
a little
also
B.
like the
Yeah.
idea that this show, one
Because
of the things
remember,
that sucked me,
Sanguinet needed his help with coaching because he didn't
Yeah.
really know what was going on.
one of the things that sucked me in at the very beginning was the repeated "shut the fuck up, Sanguinet." Like
Sanguinet.
every time this guy opens his mouth for 2 episodes, he is just getting shut down, but he's taking it. Like
Hmm.
he's taking it like a G, and he's just like, it's his
Michael,
bro.
your dick is out.
Oh, dude, that one was like, that was a weird episode. And she's like, your fucking dick is out. And he's like, oh, okay.
You know, it was kind of funny with Michael's in the beginning before they really built his character up. I thought
Yeah.
he was going to try and F Shoresy over. I
Yeah.
had that vibe about him, but then he just like was like, "Oh, I'm part of the team," and he's like, he just started all of a sudden just became like this character that, in
Yeah.
some weird way, you kind of not admired, you felt kind of pity party for him, but at the same day, at the end of the day, you were like, all right, he's kind of cool. He's kind of cool, goofy
I
little
like when he
bastard, but
becomes the
goalies are
greatest
weird, right?
goalie in
Yeah.
Goalies are
He's a
weird.
goalie. He's weird.
when he comes the greatest goalie in the history of the no show. I think it's such a good for his character. I
Yeah.
love that. But like when he's eating a panini by himself, he's like, "What, Michaels? What are you doing over there?" And he's like, "I'm eating a panini. Why alone?" And he's like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't want to be home and eating a panini by myself." He's like, "Yeah, but you'd still be by yourself, and you are." So, and
Don't
then
worry
he's
about the
just like,
pitter patter.
oh shit, I am by myself, so it's just insulting. It's just like, you know what I thought was funny though? So I was telling Steve too, there's so many points on this, and I'm glad we're dedicating the time.
Mm.
The scene with the way they depict Americans, it was very over the top, but it was
Ah,
funny.
like you would
When,
think after watching this show that all Americans just dress in head to toe camo.
yeah, and like they go to the arena, I mean, they go to the rink. What are they doing, my guy? They're sitting there visualizing their victory and they're just staring out blankly. Like, no, let me tell you this right now. I hate to burst anyone's bubble, including that show. No American fucking does that. I can guarantee you there's not one American hockey team or on any sport that goes out and visualizes their victory from the stands. We're
I don't
not
think
built
any.
that way.
I say I don't think anyone does. I'm sure there's got to be some people somewhere that would do that as part of their whole shtick. But
Yeah, but you know
it,
what I look at it like? I look at it like when South Park depicted Canadians with heads that were like jumping up and down
yeah,
like traps.
Shut your
It-
fucking face, Uncle
it's
Fucker.
that kind of a thing. It's funny. You know what I mean? It's just so over the top. It's funny. But I thought of you every episode with PEI, Alex, man, because you are one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. And when they were
Oh,
talking with
it was best when
what's his name?
Laura was interviewing the PEI guy, and he's like, "You have a boyfriend? Yeah, I'm seeing somebody. Does he treat you with kindness or respect? Nope."
Yeah, yeah. I hope he treats you with kindness, respect, and equality. Nope. She walks up. But the guy is so nice, and he's like, "We lost, but we're still gonna cheer on the team and give them a whole lot of seafood." I'm like, dude, seriously? Who are you people? Like,
I don't know anyone.
And
that
I'm
would
in
do
love, by the way, also with Anit Archambault,
oh, I love Anik Akshaba. I like the beginning.
which is hilarious
Where-
because in my life, I actually have friends whose last names is Archambault, and it's
I think it's so great when at the very beginning, like she speaks French, but she's like, oh, there's this one guy. Are you talking about Shoresy? Yeah, he did this weird thing that every time we'd ask him a question, he'd go, huh?
Huh?
And she's like, what? And she goes,
Huh?
let me ask you. So what do you think in the history of the no show? Huh? She goes, oh yeah, I understand. Like using the subtitles.
It like I love how they all know he's going to do it, so they wait.
But then they stop.
And
They're like, shit.
yeah,
By the way, Alex, you know what? Wow, I can't talk today. I think this is a good idea, Joe. I think Alex should come down to Woonsocket since you're on the border of where I live.
Yeah,
Alex,
we're literally like 5
Alex,
minutes
you
away
would
from each
love
other.
Woonsocket because it doesn't seem like it now. But Woonsocket is based off a lot of French Canadian migrants. We had we
Yeah.
had old time factories here
okay.
where they would come down from Quebec and live down here and work in our factories. Even if you drive down Main Street, we have a big brick building that still at the very top says Bienvenue. Like
Yeah,
it's,
it gets a lot of bad. It gets a lot of bad rap. It really does. From like like I don't
I
know.
mean, our and our state is also famous for one other thing. We arrested Al Pacino.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were going to say Al Capone, so Al Pacino threw me for a loop.
Yeah, no, Al
Al
Pacino.
Capone.
So when he was like 18 or 19 years old, he was arrested in Woonsocket for gun possession. He was
Oh
strolling
no!
through or something like that. Yeah.
Why?
Huh.
Why?
Wait, hold on. The lights. What? What's going on? What's going on here? But yeah, no. I think we were talking about favorite scenes over and over, Steve and I off camera. One that had me pissing my pants, literally almost pissing my pants, is the fucking truck when they're all doing the commercial for the truck. Oh my
Why are you
god.
touching it like that? I don't want to get fucking fingerprints on
Because I
it.
don't want to get fucking fingerprints on it. That'd be stupid. And then the rest of the team's like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea.
I loved when he comes in like fully tanned up for
Yeah,
for the
for
for the calendar. Like,
calendar
what are
shoot.
you doing? He's like, we're doing a calendar shoot. Like, not what they were expecting.
Why are you
Yeah,
wearing sunglasses? Because I realize how white my eyes are.
yeah. Well, because if I was abroad and I wanted to look at a sexy calendar, I'd want to see a bunch of tanned up, greased up guys. It's just like, fuck it. I'll go get tanned and greased up.
It tarps off.
But I like Frankie J. Even that, a throwaway
Frankie
gimmick where
JJ Frank, yeah.
where you could be
JJ
making
Frankie
fun.
JJ.
When you could be making fun of his weight as a one-liner type thing,
Yeah.
he even has character development and
Mhm.
heart. Like I JJ Frankie JJ. What is it? Jean-Jacques Francois Jacques
Yeah.
Jean.
I think
But
so.
they
Yeah.
say it so fast. They're like Jean-Jacques Francois Jacques Jean. How are
Right.
you? The lady who hosts the show when they all
That
come
show
on,
is
they're like,
fucking
"Hi,
great.
girls." It's fucking.
Now you might be wondering
hysterical.
why there's 3 other chairs on the side of you. So without further ado, let's bring out
Bring them in. And yeah, one
and the
time
look at his
Frankie.
face when they're all just like he's like
Yeah, that and what's her name's brothers. Oh my god, where she's like, look at them, they're fucking
oh
weird.
yeah.
He's his mouth's wide open like he's got something in it and it tastes awful.
Hey, can we all agree the party bus scene when
Oh my
when
god.
Shoresy's drunk as a skunk and can't talk? They're like, we gotta get him inside. What are we gonna do? I got an idea.
I was telling Alex that.
Do you
yeah,
have
when
anything that can mellow him out? I got just the thing.
yeah, they're like playing like chemist with him. But you like how he repeats himself like
Yeah,
100 times.
where were you guys? Where were all you fucking guys when we were losing, huh? I didn't see any of you there. Now we're here, and then I just said out loud to them, I was like, where were you guys when we weren't?
They're like, bro, we heard you, dude. But no, so what I read was, and it makes sense too, because he plays it so authentic. Listen, I haven't seen somebody play somebody so authentic since Charlie Cox played Daredevil and Matt Murdock. You get that sense that you're not watching Charlie Cox, you're watching a guy who
Yeah.
really is blind.
Cox,
Shoresy
yeah.
is somewhat autistic. He's on the spectrum. And like Jared Keese was confirmed that he's on the spectrum in the
Yep.
character. But isn't Wayne also autistic?
I don't know if it was confirmed, but I think that's what it
Maybe.
seems to be, that he's somewhere, like he would have some level of something of
Right.
autism
The
or
other thing I
something.
like what I like about that is though they're not playing it for laughs, as in like downplaying it. It's very heartfelt and
Hmm.
authentic, and just I don't know, like nothing in the
Autistic.
show
I
is
thought it was more artistic.
yeah, nothing in the show is demoralizing.
No,
Like even when he
and
rips on Zequa, like it's not demoralizing because it comes back around full circle when he says
Ay,
like,
ay, 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 ay. Sorry.
yeah, he's like, how the hell did you get how'd you get a
a
speeding ticket?
ticket.
And she's like,
Yeah,
oh, I got a ticket. He's like, you're hot. Hot girls don't get tickets. That don't happen. And
Yeah.
then he's biting his lip and shit. And she goes, what? And he
What are you
goes, you'll never.
doing?
Yeah. And then I was saying to Alex, like, I love it. And she's like, wait, you think I'm hot? And he goes, yeah. He's like, all the boys do. I mean, it's not like 50-50, but it's at least like 30-70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even when he compliments her, he backhand compliments
I
her.
know.
It's the funniest
I
fucking thing.
It's one of those things where I just really love how the interplay works in the characters. And you had mentioned demoralization in it. The demoralization of the show is for the audience. Like we said, when Shoresy gets injured at the end,
Yeah.
when you see the
Yeah.
players, like the characters go through the shit,
Yeah.
that it hurt. Like the audience, like, oh, that sucks, right? Like you get demoralized, and and it's because you're so emotionally invested.
You're very, I haven't been this emotionally invested in a show in a very long time.
But
No,
I love it. I love the second time that they when they tried to suspend Shoresy for he's like, oh, I was in the fucking stands. I wasn't even in the game.
you can't suspend me for that.
But that too, even the speech that Nat gives when she's like, let them come and see people play the last vestiges of the people who play the game the way it's supposed to be played. If you want to see
And
finesse and you want to see
let me tell you,
speed
as
and
a
you want to see, fancy and all
finesse,
that, go to the NHL.
Hmm.
Here at Senior Wheelshit Hockey, we play for the community and we play for the players who play for the community. And like it's just amazing because these women were against it. And all of a sudden, within the span of 3 minutes, they go, we've changed our verdict. Like, it's just
so
great.
and here's the thing too, and they're so right about that too. I love the NHL. I love watching hockey. I miss what the game used to be.
Yeah, of
I
course.
I think when it comes to
The players used to
the
outlaw
players,
themselves.
yeah, and I think part of the issue with the NHL is because they have banned fighting, and I understand why. Like, I don't get me
I
wrong,
can
like I
get that
understand
too. I
why.
really
Like,
can.
head
You know,
concussions and
in AHL, they can be suspended for fighting.
I see. I disagree with that because then you end up with players who will just take a run at someone,
Yeah,
and
so
you
my
Yeah.
won't.
dad explained this to me because I used to ask him when I was little. Because I would be like, why do hockey players fight so much and why is it allowed? And he goes, it's the healthiest thing you can do on the ice. And I said, what are you talking about, Dad? I said, wouldn't you? I said, did your players used to do this? He goes, my players used to fight all the time. And he's like, and I would encourage them to fight because when you fight, it's basically like it's regulate. He's like, you get it out right then and there. What
Do you,
happens is if you don't do it, the animosity builds, and like Alex says, somebody's going to take a run at somebody and
Yeah.
headhunt them or do something very vicious. Like my dad had a player die on the ice, and that was his last game because someone came by and their skate cut his throat and killed him, and like when he was a kid. So
yeah,
dad was like, "That's it.
I'm
Hockey's no
done.
longer fun for me."
Or you could be like
Yeah,
that guy, who played over in England who intentionally lifted his leg up and sliced the throat of
Yeah,
one of his opponents.
and that's what
and
I'm saying. So
that's
like,
just it. Like you would get like I think it's Matt Cook
Yeah.
who grabbed the player by the back of the head, or back of the jersey, and punched him in the back of the head because the guy wouldn't turn around and fight him.
Well,
right.
he's also the same guy who ended the career of Mark Savard,
Yep.
the former Bruin. And unfortunately, it's players like those who shouldn't be in the league. They're the ones who ruin
Right.
the sport and getting the fighting and all that banned. I was watching highlights the other day. Last week, Tampa Bay. I can't remember the name of the player, but he cross-checked one of our players in the face.
Yeah.
Didn't get a penalty, nothing, and he tried to blame it on Kastelik. It was his fault. He got cross-checked in the face. Well,
Yeah.
the other day, Bruins and Lightning played again, and this time Frederick just said, yeah, you want to act like this is fucking nothing, then I'm going to beat your fucking ass right here and now. And that's what's healthy about the sport is the fact that, hey, you know what? You can't run at my player like that without facing consequences. And
That's the line in the show that
officiating,
Laura says, where
if the
she goes,
officiating if the officiating and the league won't take the action, we will. As much as they try to take that element out of the game, it's not going away. So embrace it.
It'll never
And
go away. So
if
like
it is,
I
if
think
they do try and take it out, sorry, Joe, if they do try and take it out, then you've got to either do what they do in, I say football, I mean soccer, but
Mhm.
where there's like a foul or something, or let's review that. Like if it is, was
Right.
that actually a foul or was that like a bad call or whatever? Take the time to review it, because if you're seeing a player on the ice bleeding and no one knows why, maybe you should stop, rewind to see what happened, and
yeah.
act from there. Like even if you still start play again down the other end of the ice,
Yeah.
find out, like, did this guy get cross-checked in the face? Did he
Right.
blow a skate, fall down and crack his head, and it's his, not his fault, but no one else was.
Frustration is in every sport, no matter what sport you
Of
play.
course
I
it
mean,
Yeah.
is.
last night, Connor McDavid is probably one of the nicest players in the NHL. He's also one of the best players in the NHL. Well, last night he had a little too much, and he was getting a little manhandled, and he stood right up and he just fucking cross-checked the guy right in the face. Never expected that out of Connor McDavid. Like I said, it's not his game. Fighting's not his game. Aggression's
No.
not his game. But aggression, I mean, you get frustration, and then one day it just boils over and you pop a guy in the face. It's, I mean, how many fights has Ray Bork ever been in his career? Ray Bork's very first fight in the NHL, he broke his fucking jaw.
Yeah.
He's not a fighter. Yeah,
I
but
had no
every
idea.
once in a while you gotta pop him.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I like that. Speaking of this, and this is weirdly on topic, that line where Laura says to what's his name from the Italian team, where he says, she goes, "You're the dirtiest player in the game," and he goes, "Yeah, so I'm told," and she goes, "You know, that's the thing I love about hockey. Sooner or later, there's always justice." And he goes, "Yeah, we'll see." And she goes, "We will." You know what I mean? But like, it's alluding to the fact that yeah, you
And
can
then he
fuck around with
shatters
somebody,
Shoresy's
but you're
ankle
gonna
later on.
no, but it's like you're gonna fuck around with somebody, but sooner or later you're gonna find out.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that's what makes hockey a little bit more unique than other sports, because the fighting isn't it's part of the whole ensemble, where this is very much a practice that you know that when shit gets boiled over, let's drop the gloves, let's fucking grab some jerseys and punch some faces, and
I've
then
always
we'll
been
be
a
cool.
fan. I've always been a fan of the unspoken rules of the game, not just hockey. And to some degree, basketball.
Oh,
Although basketball,
basketball bullshit. It's
basketball,
such a
basketball,
fucking whistle fest.
yeah. But the problem is with basketball, it's one of those things that unfortunately, because of the particular pigment of their skins, when they fight, people just look at that as a bunch of unruly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
blah
I
blah
get
blah.
it. But
But baseball has so many unwritten rules to the game that again the players kind of guide themselves in that aspect. Like you're a batter. The pitcher doesn't like how close to the plate you're standing. He's gonna
yeah,
he's
and
gonna
he'll
buzz
bean
one. He's
you.
gonna buzz one by you.
Yeah,
You
he'll buzz
know,
one by
and
you or bean you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. If you hustle, if you showboat going around the bases after hitting a home run, he's gonna remember that next time. He's gonna send one near your head. And baseball back in the day, like even like early 2000s, that Red Sox Yankees rivalry when it was on peak, it was pure
Yeah.
fucking pure cinema because you didn't know who was gonna beat who that day. It was.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Pedro Martinez threw a fucking 85-year-old man to the fucking ground.
I remember that. Oh my god, yeah.
you know, but you don't take a run at a guy or else shit's gonna happen.
You know,
I was watching a clip the other day, and I'm sure you've seen it, of a guy sat behind the batting area with a beer on the thing, on the barrier, and the batter hit the ball, it span off, cracked the beer, and it just went all over the guy, and his reaction was just to laugh. Like
So
it's one of those.
So you want to talk pure? You want to talk
hilarious.
pure Boston and how we're built here in the New England region. I think it was another Yankees Red Sox game, but it was the ball went in the stands, and then something happened, and then another fan in the crowd threw a fucking pizza at the face of the other fan.
oh yeah.
Oh,
But at the end of the day, also, I mean, there are one-offs. People like we talked about with Matt Cook who just didn't have a line to cross, or people like Marty McSorley who took a stick and bashed Donald Bashir over the head with it. Like that's not okay. Those are
no.
but
I would argue that like those are borderline criminal acts, if not over the borderline.
Agreed.
Because you don't, if the guy's already said, like, I'm not going to fight, you don't go after him and sucker punch him in the back of the head. Now, I recognize that a lot of the damage that came to the guy he sucker punched was when he hit the ice, his head bounced off the ice.
Right.
But he would never have been in that position if you hadn't sucker punched him.
And that was
Correct.
Bertuzzi. That was
It was yeah.
it was Bertuzzi. Tyler Bertuzzi. No, not Tyler. Tyler plays
Todd.
already. Todd
Yeah,
Bertuzzi.
Todd Bertuzzi.
Because there's Tyler. Tyler plays for the Blackhawks now. But
Yeah.
but even like so, and then of course, as fans we get outraged over things, but when Zdeno Chara put I can't remember the other guy's name. Yeah, Pat Chiaretti into the stanchions, and they were trying to get the Montreal police to fucking arrest him.
I see. I've watched that, and I think that was just a really
bad hit.
It was a bad hit. A
bad hit in an unfortunate place. It wasn't
a semi-decent
dirty
hit in a shit position.
Yes.
Like if he was like 5 feet further down, he would have just clobbered him and dropped. It's not like when Rempe hit someone that he ended up getting his like multi-game ban.
Yeah.
Deserved.
Rempe's one of those players. Rempe's one of those players that he was skilled enough to make it to the NHL, but he's not skilled enough to make a name for himself. So he has to go out there. He has to just be physical.
He has been suspended for more games than he's played in the NHL.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
But it's funny though. I would still want him on my team. I would still want him on the Bruins because unfortunately, since Sean Thornton went to Florida and then just retired. I mean, Sean Thornton was that guy that you might want to think twice about who you hit and how hard you hit them because he's going to come out there and beat your ass.
Yeah, you need an enforcer. You need an enforcer.
You need that. You need that in the game. You need to have somebody on your bench who's going to make the other team accountable for their actions.
Yeah. Well, that's
the
wonderful thing. And the only reason I'm off camera right now is I'm charging the phone because it was just about to die because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, because you never charge your phone before you go to bed.
That is how professional I am. But one of the other aspects is like all this stuff is necessary to play the game the way it's played. Everyone plays their part, right? And that's the thing that's great too is like even when people are in twilight of their career, they still contribute in other ways, and we find that out in season 3 of Shoresy. Where Shoresy has gone from very much being one of a marquee player to now he is just a guy on that ice, another body, but he finds a way to contribute, and they hammer home to you that, no matter what he does, he finds a way to contribute somehow, some way. And I just think it's beautiful that way because...
Yeah, that final game, they're down by 5. They need 5 goals. They're down by 4 goals. They need 5 to win. And he was like, we need 5 goals. All right, Fish, you're getting one for us. Jim, you're getting one for us. All right, JJ, get your head in the fucking game. You're the healthiest one here. Let's fucking go. And then he's just like down the line. And then in the line in which he called the orders, the line in which they scored the goals.
Now, wait a minute. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Did Shoresy assist on the final goal?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I have to rewatch.
I thought he did. I thought he got the assist.
I think he probably did. I think that's probably what they would have been going for.
Yeah, but
by the way, Alex, I hate the fact that you get to watch Shoresy season 4 before.
I know. I hate that you get to watch it this week.
Yeah,
I might get a VPN just to try and find a way to get that show.
NordVPN.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we get
I fully intend to be watching it as soon as it comes out. And
what, January 24th, 25th, something like that's coming out.
Yeah. So it's this week,
and we don't get it until February. We don't get it until like mid-February.
We get it February 26th.
So I think you probably get it when it's all over because it doesn't come out all on the same day. You get 2 episodes and then you get another episode. So we're probably going to get the finale at the same day.
I hope that's the case, and I hope we get all of them at once on Hulu instead of having to wait every week.
No, we're going to get it the same way.
Are you?
Suck.
Yeah, for what I read, we're going to get 2 episodes frontwards, and then the remaining 4 to end it. But it's already in season 5.
Off topic conversation real quickly, by the way. Speaking of, is that
you know where you are, right?
Is that Reacher comes back for season 3 soon.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
So we've really talked about Shoresy a lot. Alex's mates, if you haven't heard this, and you have.
If you haven't, then
the jig is up.
Yeah,
we know.
100%.
And just join the party. We'd love to have you on.
Yeah. The ironic thing is, if they don't listen to this, I can keep my thing going.
Keep it going. Keep it going until
I will.
Listen,
You go to you can't go no more.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going till I can't go no more with this.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where
I feel like the three of us need to buy Shoresy jerseys. By the way,
I'm getting a Sudbury Blueberry
Yeah,
Bulldog.
my-
even if
my
they're even if
buddy-
they're custom, it doesn't even have to be a Shoresy jersey. It could just like be like
Yeah.
a custom. Like I'll do like
Something.
I'll do like Griffin 68 on the back of one. You know, like
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
My buddy, I think he has
Hessian number
a
4.
short. Yeah, I think my buddy
Oh, yeah.
has a Shoresy Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs.
Oh, that's so awesome.
jersey.
Their hoodies are
It's-
like $89, but they look great.
yeah.
If it's on the Letterkenny site, it'll be 89 Canadian too. I think.
Oh, so that's
Oh no,
better
no,
for me.
it converts for us. When
Does
you
it?
try to order, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, son of a bitch. But
Sorry, Joe.
no, that's all right. But either way.
Well, I
I'm
got my
going one.
T-shirt. This is actual from Shoresy website, but I bought it off of Amazon.
Yeah, so I'm getting mine this
No.
week. To give your balls a tug.
Yep. But yours is an official Letterkenny. Yours was
Mine
just,
says Letterkenny above it.
It says Letterkenny. Yes, that is based off of that. But it's it's from Redbubble, so it's a lady who makes them. Kind of like your wife Alex with the
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
fine. I'll
with
take
the
it.
PEI Reds.
I'll take it. So, like I said, we've talked about Shoresy. If anyone who is listening to this or even has the time to can't tell by now, we absolutely adore this show. It is my favorite show of all
Mhm.
time. It didn't take much convincing. It didn't take much, knuckling. It's my favorite show of all time because I tried to put it against shows that I would have rival it. They don't. Ted was
The-
very up there. Ted was
The
very, very up there.
the sizzle reel is what made me want to sit down and watch it after listening to him with the banter back and forth between Liam and
yeah, we
Corey.
didn't even get into the thing with Corey and fucking Liam. That is some of the gold of the show.
Just wait till you see Letterkenny too. Like some of the lines back and forth
Yeah.
between Wayne and Darry and the Hicks and the hockey players. It's so good. Like Steve,
Even the female hockey players, I've seen some of those sizzle
Yeah.
reels. Yeah.
yeah, there may not be as much story, but the insults back and forth are phenomenal. They are
I've gotta
so
check
Yeah,
it
good.
out.
there's a lot of tug your ball references in
Yeah.
Letterkenny. They don't say it as much. They don't say it as much as Shoresy, but they say it a lot in Letterkenny.
Yeah.
It's I think in Shores you can hear at the beginning of the show a lot of Letterkenny,
Yeah,
Callbacks?
references. Yeah,
and then as the show goes on, I think by the late first, at least the second season, it's really its own thing at that point. Like there's a lot of its own references, callbacks,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
and by the way, I gotta say, I love how they have the American Indian references. I mean, we all know how much the American Indians in Canada have been.
here I think here it's Indigenous Canadians.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Indigenous Canadians, excuse me.
No,
But I mean, we all
it's one of
we
those
all know the
things, right?
struggle.
Like,
We all
we're-
know the struggles for the Indigenous up there, and
Yeah.
it's good. It's good that they had representation in Shoresy. If anybody's never watched the movie Iron Horse, I would suggest it so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a fucking movie. The ending,
I love a movie.
I didn't realize until the end what was really going on. It was one of those that it keeps you in suspense, and then you find out the whole reason behind everything, and you're like, oh fuck. So yeah.
I love the fact that you sold the movie to people without actually explaining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
he did a
so-
great job of that.
Yeah. We need to do better at that sometime.
Yeah, we do. Because sometimes we're terrible at it.
Yeah.
But so I like I said, we could talk Shoresy for another 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours till the premiere.
But unfortunately,
comes on.
Alex don't have that time.
Alex don't have that time, but I did want to take the time to talk about one other thing.
Okay.
I wanted to let Steven talk about it, as whatever way he wants to. Here in the U.S., we had a ban that went in place immediately, like before, just way before midnight last night.
Yeah.
And
that pissed me off.
TikTok is officially banned unceremoniously. Like the plug is pulled. There was no slow drip. There was no like archive content. Nothing. Just yank.
bam.
Gone.
Yep.
Now I don't know if TikTok, I'm hoping, has like this internal archive that if it came back in 30 days, content creators don't lose their followers and their content and everything that they work to build. But
I don't think so. I think it just flipped a switch.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I'll have to double check. I think it's still obviously it's still up and running in Canada and everywhere else. I
right.
think you
The
can
reason why I
still
say this
get,
because there's people right now who are using VPNs to still connect to TikTok.
yeah.
So they still have their accounts and everything like that. So I don't see why once they flip the switch back on if it comes back. But yeah,
And the thing is, it's probably just an access-based thing. Like you can turn off
Yeah.
access to different things. Like if they just likening it to what I do. If it's a
Yeah, you're in
firewall-based thing,
cybersecurity, Alex.
yeah,
listen,
like
I'm
it
just
would
gonna
be
I'm just
easy
gonna
enough
start
to just
uploading my
remove
content to
access.
Pornhub and see what happens.
I don't think you get anywhere in Florida.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen, it's an ugly thing right
yeah, it
now.
is. It is. Jokes aside, it is.
I was telling Alex before you came on, Steve, I figured that
Yep.
was part of your delay, what you were dealing with last night before bed and what you're dealing with this morning and other
No, my
friends
delay
that
this
we
morning is
have.
because I had to run out and get stuff. My wife's been wanting more prepared meals to be able to take to work in the morning. So I had to run out and get a couple of things that she couldn't find, and I needed also
nice.
ice. I need to get some ice mail because we're getting a
No, I'm
storm.
talking about the interactions.
Oh, I mean that my wife, by the way,
I told him.
my wife is fucking savage. When she wants to be. But here's the thing. So
You don't have to talk about like
I love America. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else except for Canada. But I'm not one of those. Well, I'm gonna go move to Canada now. Here's the thing. The United States of America is using TikTok as a national security threat.
Scapegoat.
It's fucking bullshit.
Oh,
Right
it
now,
is.
they are, whether the Supreme Court wants to admit it or not, they are taking away our right to free speech because they're trying to use it as a guide that, oh, we're national security, China will get our information. Listen, if China wants our information, they're going to get it whether they use TikTok or not.
They already have it.
We had a fucking spy balloon get halfway across our fucking our nation. Then they were like, let's fucking shoot it down. After it got halfway over, and by the way, over NORAD is when they finally fucking shut it down. Like, by the way, NORAD, if you've never seen NORAD, that is fucking beautiful. If you've never been to Colorado Springs, it's amazing to see the antennas and shit coming out of the fucking mountainsides. But I digest. Last year in 2024, the top 10 cybersecurity hacks in our country, top 10, was 1.7 billion people were affected by being hacked in this country, whether it was the healthcare system, whether it was banking system. 1.7 billion people were affected with that. Don't tell me that TikTok was the reason for that.
No, and for people that are trying to work out how, but there's not 1.7 billion people in the States. It's not only is it per person, it's how many instances of your data.
No, there's like 24 billion people in the United States.
Absolutely, and
Not billion.
no,
There's
no,
6.4 billion people in the world. You math whizzes?
Hey Siri, what's the population in America?
6.7 maybe.
It's like 330, 50 some million, I think.
It's 300 odd million.
All right, 340 million.
Yeah.
Little off by
but you're actually
billion.
no. He's actually not wrong in that. So the way that they were tracking it is that, say if Steve had lost his date of birth, where's my hand? Date of birth, social, address, that can count as 3 things, and that's what they're counting. So when they say 1.7 billion, it's one person might have 15 to 20 different things that have been compromised. That's where the increased math is coming from.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, you're right. It's 1.7 billion. If it's one person is impacted, that is almost a fifth.
Let's really call this what it is. It's a bunch of middle-aged to older white men who run our country, who are either hearing from people, whatever side of parents. Oh, my kid did this bullshit. My kid did this bullshit. TikTok's bad because my kid da da da. Or they're tired of going out and about and seeing kids and people dancing and making videos and just being fucking stupid in public. Or the fact that now, as a country, we can now see through your fucking bullshit as a political government. And we can call you out on your bullshit on a daily basis, where in the 60s, 70s, 80s, a lot of things got swept under the rug because if you don't fucking see it, you can't fucking talk about it. Now we can see it all. And I think it's just another way for the American government to be able to censor and try and censor all their fucking bullshit so they can just go back and try to run the country whichever fucking way they want to by limiting our availability to use social media as a platform to call you out on the fucking stupid bullshit propaganda you're trying to push.
I
And I'm not one,
eventually think
and I'm not one of
Instagram
those
is. I think
people who
Instagram's next.
I'm not one of those people. No, because Zuckerberg such so much dick in the
Yeah.
Senate that it will never fucking happen. But I'm not one of those people who gets on a platform and talks politics. You ask Joe. If Joe tries to talk politics, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. But at the end of the day, when you try to limit what we're trying to do as a country and we're trying to be open and honest, and that's what's great about being in this country. We don't live in fucking Russia. We don't live in the Cuba. We don't live in China, and places where they try to limit what you say and what you do because they want to keep you in your place. We're not a fucking 1950s housewife. Okay, we're the fucking American people, and we have the right to say what we want to say any which way we want to fucking say it, whether you fucking like it or not.
Agreed.
Honestly, I actually think that's a fantastic way to.
Words hurt, but so don't fucking dildos. Okay, shut the fuck up, Sanguinet.
That's a better way to end it.
100% agree. I am going to try and find where the music goes. Steve, I'll put your contact info in the show notes for people. If I knew what I was doing or if we'd have thought in advance, we could have had it up as the banners on the screen.
Yep.
That's okay. The most important place you guys can find me is on Cameo. Rhode Island's own Stevie Oaks, Rhode Island's own Peter Griffin on Cameo. Guys, if you want, for a very small fee, I do personalized videos. You do 24-hour requests. I'm less than $20. I'm fucking cheap, okay? I'm a 2-bit whore. If you want to go on there, if you guys want to support me in any way, please go on to Cameo, order yourself a Cameo request. And, I do them nightly for the most part. If it's 24-hour requests, obviously I get those done as fast as possible. Regular requests, I'm allowed 3 days to get them done, but I usually get them done sooner rather than later. So, if you want me to be unhinged, I can be as fucking unhinged as you want. I will, however, I will not do any bullying for the most part. If I look at the script or what you want me to ask, I'll make that judgment call, but I definitely don't do any racial slurs or anything like that. So if you want me to, say the N-word or whatever, which people are always trying to get me to say the fucking N-word, I'm not going to fucking do it. So,
wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, you know why?
So you want to know why? Because the other asshat fucking Rod friend ZZ once had a video of his dubbed over where he was like, in my household we say the N-word, and someone dubbed it to say N-I-D-N, and he was actually trying to say like Nachos Bel Grande. He was just trying to be fucking funny about it, but he got dubbed over, and now people just think that because I'm a Peter Griffin impersonator, I'm just gonna drop the fucking N-word at will. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So
yeah.
Anyways.
Fuck.
Well, this has been great, guys. And
Yep.
Steve, you will be on again.
This has been real. This has
luck.
been fun, but has it been real fun?
Yeah. Lots of luck. I hope TikTok comes back. If not, I wish you, a lot of luck in
what's fucked is
Instagram.
I can get over the fact that TikTok got banned, but since they shut down Dark yesterday, they also shut down CapCut, which apparently was also owned by ByteDance.
Yeah.
And they also shut down Lemonade.
Didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I use CapCut heavily because
everyone uses CapCut.
Yeah. So now I got to find an alternative until, because here's the thing. As much as Trump, I don't believe Trump until Trump actually does the action.
Yeah.
Because he says a lot of shit. Whether he'll get it turned, whether he'll get the extension or not, we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's all from us, and
right.
It's been a hell of a 300.
That's right,
On
guys.
to the next 300.
And guys, don't forget that when you poop in your dreams, you poop for real.